Untreated heartburn or acid reflux can lead to cancer, which is pretty crazy. If you want a way to force your body to permanently stop acid reflux and heartburn in 48 hours, click the link in the description below. For now, let's get to today's question.
The question, what is it like living with Gerd? Answer by Rajinder Bala. Typical living with Gerd means that you have to give up every food that you love to eat. You have to eat food, which you never thought I will have to eat for rest of your life. Luckily I cured Gerd of myself and my father, using dehydration cycles. It gives relief from acidity within 48 hours. Read more info. Curing acidity, GERD, kidney stones and subsequent acidity. I had kidney stones for 3 years in a row. The stones were small and I went to doctors in time. The stones were removed by giving diuretics, antibiotics, drips of saline water and muscle relaxants, through urine. This was shocking. I was an all-rounder. I was a sports person who would love to play any game that was going around. Sports was my first love. We were taught that sports is good for health. The doctor told to drink 6 to 8 liters of water daily. After first year kidney stone I took special care to drink enough water. But in spite of that I developed kidney stones. I was confused. I was worried. Around this time, I suffered from acidity. I could hardly eat anything. Even if I drank water, I felt that I was full up till my throat. I could not tolerate any spices or oily food. I took antacids, injections, medicines. I took a lot of care in deciding what I should eat. Nothing worked. Every passing day the things were getting worse. There was no improvement. I stopped taking interest in business. I started studying health-related matters on internet. I was shocked to find that there was no cure for any ailment. All my life I used to believe that doctors can cure any disease. Now it was only health and nothing else. I thought if I am healthy, I can earn money for 3,040 more years. Otherwise I will end up spending all money on doctors and hospitals. Today I am 100% fit. No health issues. I can work for 16 to 20 hours a day. I did not spend any money on my treatment. To cut a long story short, I experimented on hydration, dehydration cycles and found that these can cure any disease. I found that dehydration is equally important along with hydration. If any wants to get 100% relief from acidity without any medicine in 48 hours. Day 1. Drink 100,200 milliliters water every hour from 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. Day 2. Do not drink any fluids. Or drink as little as possible. If you find it difficult to stay without water and other fluids for 36 hours at a stretch, minimize your water, fluid, intake on this day. You may not get 100% relief in 48 hours in case you could not stay without drinking water on day 2. But repeating day 1 and day 2 every week will give 100% relief in a month or so. Thereafter every month repeat day 1 and day 2. As things progress, you may repeat day 1 and day every time there is change in the temperature of more than 10 degrees centigrade. An interesting story. I was discussing my experiences of hydration/dehydration with a group of yoga instructors. During the course of discussions the yoga instructors mentioned that they suffer from acidity in a big way. I was surprised. I could not answer. But I kept looking for an answer. Later I found an answer to the acidity problem of yoga instructors. Yoga has some breathing exercises. During these breathing exercises CO2 is exhaled. CO2 is slightly acidic. When a person starts yoga, he feels overall improvement. Most of the well-to-do people have acidic buildup in their body. By doing breathing exercises, the acid load of the body starts reducing. In few months the person recovers from acidic body. Now his body becomes too alkaline. The acidity problem is faced when there is acid buildup or alkaline buildup. Later I asked the yoga instructor to stop drinking water for 36 hours. I also suggested him to stop yoga for 7 days. After 36 hours he was completely cured of his acidity. To me, cure means no restrictions of meals. Once a person is cured of acidity he can eat any oily thing in any quantity. Not that I recommend such poor choices of food. But that is the meaning of cure to me. And one must indulge in such things once in a while. Answer by Jessica Eusta. Living with Gerd is somewhat like living with another person, a healthy eating person who will force you to follow their ways. Gerd hasn't actually played any part in my childhood. It appeared in my teen years suddenly and unexpected. Since my diagnosis I've learned to avoid several things that I used to love, which actually differ from person to person. Sometimes it is difficult to abide by the restrictions and I fall into a period of denial, especially after not having reflux for a while, where I'll ignore the fact that I can't eat what I like. I admit it's the dumbest thing to do, but being a student sucks if you can't act out like your friends. Although eating what I like in moderation almost never has a negative effect. The only major change in my lifestyle is foregoing most beverages and sticking to water, and not eating or drinking anything a few hours before going to bed or lying down or exercising. I also had to cut out most of the sweet treats that I enjoy. Having Gerd has mostly served as a harsh motivator to have a healthier lifestyle. Answer by Caitlin Mary Dankine. Living with it is just living with it. I had issues with Gerd for years before even being diagnosed and put on medication. You learn what triggers your Gerd and try to stay away from it, which can be hard. For instance, I love coffee, however if I have it, I know I need to add creamer to help cut some of the acid. Or I learn never to drink water on an empty stomach, and Coke helps with buildup. Overall, you learn what helps you, hurts you, and depending what happens, do your Gerd what you need. For me, small changes have gone a long way, and it does nothing to interfere with my life beyond sometimes I know I'm just gonna get sick and then be fine like 5 minutes after.